Hey guys, it's Dmanschramm here, and today we're gonna have our first look at Siege of Shanghai at night. Yeah, this map looks really freaking cool. It's actually called Infiltration of Shanghai, and it's available now on CTE only in classic mode. So this is, a couple of things in the main part is no spotting, 3D spotting that is. So what's so special about Infiltration of Shanghai? Well, if you look at the lighting, it's relatively bright. It's not something too dark, so you can actually see people without your infrared and night vision goggles. But this map looks absolutely sick. As seen in the first couple clips, you can see that the map all around has lights from the city. It looks like it is from the city. And the map just honestly looks amazing. And it's great to play, and it works quite well. And it's not something that's too dark, which is great. One thing I find is that if you make a map too dark, then you're gonna have a lot of issues with infantry not being able to see the people that they're shooting at unless they have night vision goggles, and then they don't know exactly where they're going. So I think this start with the nice lighting that is from the city really works with the setting. One thing that I fear might dominate these maps is the infrared night vision and the thermal vision. So you can get these visions for tanks and guns as well. The IRNV scope and the thermal scopes and stuff like that are attachments that you can get. Currently, I've tested it out in a tank, and I've tested it out on a gun. And all of these things each have their pros and cons. I personally like to use the IRNV scope, the one that has the tint, because it's built for night vision. You can see a little better. But these scopes are actually optimized for daytime lighting, and hopefully the CTE is going to look into fixing this. Then we'll have scopes that will function a lot better at night, especially the IRNV scope. One thing that does blind these scopes as in daytime is the hand flare. The hand flare might become a very good option if you're only using red dot sight, but I'm just speculating considering this is just the beginning of such an awesome series of maps. Hopefully, I think there's been talk about a Zavod at night, in addition to the Infiltration of Shanghai. I hope that they do a couple more maps in darkness as well, and potentially over time, as the time changes, so will the lighting. So if something like Dawnbreaker, you can have the sun rising, or in another map have the sun set as the map, as you progress in the map. Those would be some really cool additions to the final game that I really want to see. But currently in the CTE, they've done quite a nice job with this map, and this is the first official one. There was a couple that were unofficial. I thought I saw a Sunken Dragon night map that seemed to be unofficial, but this is the first official map. So some things that will be tactical are the night vision sights and hand flares. Another thing that might be good would be the target detector once 3D spotting gets into the game. But then again, I don't know how I feel about 3D spotting, because then you could have just red triangles above people's heads when it's hard to see them, rather than actually looking for them, like when the dust storm rolls in my favorite map, Gulf of Oman. Not my favorite map, that's freaking Darude Sandstorm. Really annoying. Hate that sandstorm. Anyways, but for the time being, I really enjoy this map. Enjoy playing on it. Enjoy, just doing everything around it. And this really makes me want to play the CTE right now with this map. Hopefully there will, as I said before, be other other maps like this, and potentially time-changing maps that are not necessarily Levolution, but more timeline based. You probably took a look at some of the Iron V scopes and thermal scopes on a tank and on my guns. Hopefully I'll have all of those clips in there, just so you can see the differences in between all of them. One thing I did note is that you can't get upstairs without a parachute in the main tower. Sorry, I tried. It didn't work. Weird. But anyways, hopefully this gives you a good idea of what might be coming to the new game, and hopefully this really does make it out into the full game as a DLC that's potentially included for everybody, or maybe this premium. It doesn't really matter, but the remakes of these maps would be absolutely awesome, and they wouldn't even take up that much space. It's just a bit of lighting tweaks and attachment tweaks. Speaking of attachments, one thing that I do think would be a good addition to night maps would potentially be a scoped thermal or a scoped Iron V. So something like an 8x scope, like the rifle scope, but with thermal. I don't know if this is good, because that could potentially make snipers really, really powerful, and like you light up like a Christmas tree. But hopefully Battlefield will be able to implement this in a way that's nice and balanced, because in dark maps I could see how it would be very difficult for snipers to get you. But again, I mean, that might be one of the perks of playing in a night map. So give this video a like if you liked it, a dislike if you disliked, and don't forget to subscribe. And this is Dmanschramm on Deathwish Gaming, signing off.